Kate Ingham, who's bloody awesome, coined the term ducks in a row for the Aussie online entrepreneurs. And basically what that means is you've done your advanced preparation for your Amazon business. So what the hell is the advanced preparation and why is it so important? Well, let me tell you. So I'm going to say I think weirdly, the single biggest decision you can make with your Amazon business is, I think, your address. Now that is odd to say, but here's what I'm thinking about. Here's my thinking on this. So your address. So you've got two choices, really. Well, you've got three, but the third one's shit ass. So let's talk about all three, and I'll tell you why the first one's shit ass. So here's your three: your home address, somebody else's address, like an accountant or something like that, or a PO box address. So let's just get rid of the third one, PO box. Don't do that. Amazon doesn't like it. Your customers won't like it. Nobody likes it. So don't use a PO box address, all right? So now you're left with home address versus PO box address. Now, if you set up your company either as a sole trader, well, sole trader you don't need that, but if you set up your business in a company, a Pty Ltd, you will need to put a registered office on. Now that registered office becomes publicly available information at ASIC's website, so anybody that wants to go and check you out will also know where you live or where your registered office is if you're not making it your home address. So I think there is a strong argument to not make your address your home address, but instead to make it somewhere else. For me, what I do is I choose either a serviced office or a virtual office. A virtual office is really all you need for this, and for the most part, I think mailboxes, etc., will give you one of those for, what is it, like $15-20 a month, something like that. And I believe it's money well spent. So that's really your first decision, is your address, and then everything else kind of comes out of that. So what do you need as a result of that? Well, once you've got your address sorted out and you know you're going to have your address, you then would make your company either as a sole trader or as a Pty Ltd have that address on its file. So you'd be, I don't know, Neil's Amazon Business Pty Ltd registered at whatever was the registered address, for instance. So that's the first part of your ducks in a row. Second part of your ducks in a row is your bank account, and you'll want to make sure that your bank account accurately reflects your registered office address, whether that's your home address or a virtual address. You want to make sure that matches up, and your ABN or ACN, or both if you've got a Pty Ltd company, also matches up. So now what you're starting to do is to have everything the same. Amazon is a boring bastard at heart and just wants everything to be the same. Not same, but different, the same. So your address for your on file at Amazon matches up with your address on your bank statement, matches up with your address at Company's House, at ASIC. I've been setting up businesses in the UK, so that's why that came from. Matches up with that, matches up with your bank statement, matches up with your ABN, also matches up if you start your own website and you haven't got private data, so it matches up with your data held at Whois. Don't worry if you haven't got your own website, that's another level, it's all good. So everything is the same, and you've started the ducks in a row process. So that's your first part, getting your address in order. Your second one is your phone number. So you've got two options here. Your mobile phone number, well, that should be your mobile phone number, so that if somebody calls you from Amazon, and they might, that matches up. And you can also have a business phone number as well. So if somebody calls your business phone number, then that gets answered in your company name. Now, why might you want that? Well, let's just revisit address. So there are some products on Amazon that will require your registered office or a business address to be printed onto your labels. So for instance, in the skincare brands that we're in, we always put our business address on our labels because it's much easier to get ungated. So that's another good reason, by the way, not to use your home address, because your manufacturing address might need to be on your labels at some point too, depending on what you're getting ungated in. But you also will find, to get ungated, if you have a phone number that your customers can call to speak to you, you will find it's much easier to get ungated as well. So you might want to put that onto, which again brings us back to a virtual office where you're getting your telephones answered, for instance. So notice that none of that can be done through a PO box number, which is why you don't want it. Also notice none of that really could be done by having your address with your accountant, for instance, because your accountant wouldn't want to get all that documentation, wouldn't want to get all that, and it would just be more expensive. There's no real benefit to you in doing that. So, ducks in a row is simply everything matches. It's consistent across all different platforms. The information that you've got in your Seller Central account matches the information held with your bank, matches the information held by ASIC, matches the information held by your registered office, etc, etc, etc. Everything is consistent, everything is the same, and by doing that you'll find not only is it much easier to open your Amazon account. Typically when there's a problem opening your Amazon account, it's because something doesn't match up, but it's also much easier to get ungated for categories, and then as you grow and expand your business, you'll find it's much easier to have a consistent, unified address details as part and parcel of your overall brand as well. So that is why we suggest getting your ducks in a row. And that's what ducks in a row means. Hope that helps. It is easy. Okay, let me quickly touch on a couple of questions. So question is it easy to update your details in Seller Central? Yes, actually, it's a piece of piss to update your details in Seller Central. However, the second you update anything that's critical for your business in Seller Central, Amazon is likely to suspend your selling privileges whilst they check out what's going on. So if you are going to update anything at all with Amazon, specifically things like your bank account, your credit or debit card, your mobile phone number, or your business name, not your seller name, that's different, your business name, tell Amazon beforehand what you're going to do. Wait for them to email you back and say, yep, no worries, and then update it. Otherwise, 9 times out of 10, they'll just simply stop you selling on the platform. We see it heaps. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.